to episode 260.
Welcome back, everyone.
It's been a while.
It's been a long time. My name's Sheila, also known as Sheila D37.
And my name is Wendy, also known as Penny Wendy. And we'll start out with our shout outs. First of all, we've been on a hiatus because we've both been really busy. I'll talk about it more in Crushes and Heartbreaks, but I'm in the process of selling my house and buying a new house, and Sheila has been working
And vacation.
So, makes it really hard to record. But today we had a break, so we're doing it. We've got
get her done.
a couple of shout outs. I announced the Riley Rose Shawl contest by designer Jennifer Lassonde in our last episode several weeks ago, and I never made a contest thread.
Sorry about that.
Sorry, Jennifer. I'm going to open that thread when I post this, so you'll have 2 weeks in that contest thread to win the Riley Rose Shawl pattern.
Maybe we should say 2 episodes.
2 episodes, yes, 2 episodes.
2 episodes, just to be on the safe side.
Because we may not record again.
For a little bit.
It's hard to know what's going on. Towards the end of this month, I'm not going to be available because I'm going to be moving, and then I'm going to be living in a house where we're having construction done.
It's going to be an interesting few months.
Yes, September and October are going to be tough, so it is what it is. We have our knit along going along, which is
We have the Blue Moon Knit
Blue Moon.
Along.
Mhm.
That's through the end of the year. We are still doing
the shawl.
Shawl. I mean,
It's like a shawl ministry donation. It's
Knit
sponsored.
Along. I mean, if you're knitting one and you want to donate, that's fine. If you have one and you want to donate, that's fine.
That's fine.
It's a shawl catch-all. I guess
Yes,
is a good way of saying it.
and I have talked to Lise, who is coordinating this on her end, and she's already given away 35 shawls, or she's received 35 and she's given away all but 7.
Yes.
That's what it was. And so more shawls, please come in. We have a lot of prizes.
Yep, we just got some prizes in to share with you guys.
Yes, and we're going to post pictures of those in the
thread.
so you can see what the prizes are. But there's some good stuff in there, some beautiful project bags, some yarn. It's really,
And we have a bird.
it's my mom.
Does she just have that sixth sense? I mean, really,
I even told her I was going to start recording.
that's funny.
I'm turning it off. I will text you when I'm done. My mom has a sixth sense. We haven't recorded in weeks. And then
Almost
we
a month.
do, and bam.
It's almost a month. Or it is a month.
Oh, is it?
Something like that.
I don't
We
know.
posted the
time
last one
has
on
been,
the
I've been so
29th.
busy. Yeah, I've been so
So
busy.
yeah, it's probably been about a month.
All right.
Between vacation, work, selling of the house, and everything
Yeah,
else.
it's been very busy. So, and then, so stay tuned in the contest thread to find out what you could win. We're going to put as many prizes in as works.
Yeah.
So there'll be a lot of options. And the more you donate, the more chances you have towards winning a prize. So please check it out. The people that get these shawls really do appreciate it. It makes what can be a very hard time for them a little easier.
With a little bit of comfort.
Yes, and I know if you're like me, you have a bunch of shawls that you knit and then you don't really wear them. This is a good opportunity to clean house. So please do that. I'm going to go first this week on the dance card. I have, since it's been about a month since you've seen me, I have all new projects. The first thing on the dance card is Lemongrass by Joji Locatelli. It's an unusual sweater. It is split sides, and you button it here. So,
Really?
yeah, so it's like a tunic, and you just put a couple of buttons in. It's supposed to be oversized, so I've knit, so you can see it's a bit large. I've knit, this is the large size, which has, I think, 6 inches of ease.
Oh, wow.
She said do 6 to 8, and pick the one with 6 to 8 inches of ease. And the sizes are made bigger, than the actual, like if you wear a a large size sweater, you can knit the large size this because it has the ease kind of built into it.
Right.
If you're like the standard size. I don't know how many people are. Anyway, I'm done with front and the back. I made the back a little bit, I think I made the back a little bit longer than the front. I don't know, it's hard to tell. And then I need to knit a ribbing on the edges of this, and then I'll do the sleeves. So I'm almost done. And then the neck, I'm just going to do a crew neck. I don't want a cowl neck.
So you basically pick up for a button band.
Yeah,
on the
you do a
sides.
button band of ribbing basically down here. It goes down, around, and up, and then you knit a couple of buttonholes in. I have basically knit it straight from the pattern. It has a basket weave cable, which I think is really pretty. And this yarn is Malabrigo Twist in Ravelry Red, and it's a beautiful color. It's very soft.
I like the sleeves too. I like how that looks.
Yes, this is a cabled increase raglan, and it's interesting the way that it comes out. So I think it'll be nice. I don't really see the cables in it, but you did have to cable.
I kind of see it. I don't see a cable per se cable, but I see where you cross the stitch.
It makes an interesting thing. So
it's pretty colors.
Yes, I am very happy with this. It's on size 10 needles, so it took a while to knit the yoke because that was a lot of stitches. But once I started knitting, you knit the yoke, and then you knit the front flat and the back flat attached onto it, and those flew because it's just back and forth. And the pattern makes sure that when you have to cable, it's on the right side, so you don't have to like do it crazy or whatever. And
now, was that yarn you had?
no, I bought this yarn. I wanted to knit another sweater, and it was impossible for me to get at my yarn because it's packed. So I went ahead and bought a sweater's worth of yarn, which I felt a little bit bad about doing, but I started some other projects with some of the leftover yarn from the sweater I just finished, and I was like, I cannot keep knitting with this yarn. The only other thing I have access to is a couple of skeins of sock yarn that I pulled out for myself. So you have to do what you have to do. This is Malabrigo Twist in Ravelry Red. And this particular size large, takes 8 skeins.
Where'd you get it? Just
I got it at Webb's.
Oh, you did? Okay.
And this time my Webb's order was like smooth as silk. It went right to my house. It was there like 3 days later.
Good.
So I don't know what happened the last time. That was crazy. And then the second thing I have on the needles, this looks like a condom, but it's not. This is a Sitka Spruce mitten.
I was going to say, does that fit?
Yeah. There you go. It'll block out a little bit too, but.
And that's from some leftover yarn?
This is leftover from my sweater that I made, my North Shore. This is also by Tin Can Knits. I made a modification to it. Because this is technically a DK and not a worsted, I extended the design to a point at the top because it would have been way too short for me. And as you can see, I still have to do the thumb, and I have to do the other mitten. I really like them. I think they'll be a nice lightweight mitten to wear. They're lace, so they have little bits of holes in them, but I think that'll actually be good for a lightweight mitten. It's not really holy, but I wish you could see better, but the lamp that we normally use to record is also packed. I almost got professional recording, lighting, and equipment from my brother-in-law.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he was giving it away. I was like, I'll have to move it, so I didn't take it.
Oh.
So those are the only 2 things I have on the dance card right now. The Sitka Spruce Mittens and the Lemongrass sweater.
I got a few things on the needle, which is very unlike me. Sorry. I'm just looking. I'm pretty sure I advised July's winner of the Blue Moon. I was just trying to find it.
I forgot to mention that the yarn that I'm doing the mittens in is Madeline Tosh DK in the Esoteric colorway.
There we go.
Which is the same thing that I did my North Shore sweater, the primary part of it out of.
So I have several things on the needle. I just cast on for my second sock of the Endeavor sock, which was supposed to be my Olympic socks. Yeah, that failed miserably. The Endeavor is by Nathan Taylor, also known as Sockmatician, which I believe he has his own podcast. It's a free pattern. It wasn't, I'll talk about it more. It wasn't a difficult pattern, but because I'm more of a vanilla girl. Not that I struggle. Huh?
Is it in Blue Moon?
No, this is in, believe it or not, String Theory hand-dyed yarn caper sock.
Sorry.
Bye Bye Blues. No, that's fine. It's not difficult. The pattern is not difficult. It's just not as mindless as I like it.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens. So this is just the cuff I cast on before I left work today. And it's been a while since I've shown anything, so I don't know where I was. This is my, I don't even remember why. I've shown it before. This is
ribbed scarf.
Ribbed scarf. I'm actually at least about 50% done with it. This is, oh, you can't see that at all. It's a black scarf.
It just looks like a black hole. Sorry, the lighting. We have lighting issues.
It's a simple ribbed scarf. It's a free pattern, but it's done. It's all garter stitch, but it's done by slipping.
Yes,
So
and
that
it's
it
by
looks-
Pearl Soho. And
Yeah.
the pattern is linked in the show notes, so you'll be able to see.
Yeah. So I'm actually almost done with my second skein of yarn. I'm using Valley Yarns Superwash. I'm almost done with my second one, so I'm more than 50% done. And I'll be glad to get rid of, not rid of it, I shouldn't say that. I'll be glad to get done with it, just because, I promised my friend
Yeah.
many, many moons ago that I would get him a scarf. And last time, and I checked on this one, you guys haven't seen this, I said I was going to cast on for a weighted shawl.
Oh
And
yeah.
I did. It's out of the Tess yarn that I have. And I'm doing Susan B. Anthony's weighted shawl number 4.
So,
I think that's the one that goes like this and kind of has garter stitch on the edge that kind of looks like ribbon, but it's
yeah,
not.
that's the one that I did. Oh, it looks really pretty.
It does. I haven't knit on it in a while because it gets big. And I
This
don't
is
wanna,
one of my favorite shawls that I ever knit. I knit it out of Yowza, but it's
Well, this is Tess, and it's the exact same yardage as Yowza.
yeah. So
So
that'll
it
work
works
out.
well. And I am doing this on size US 9 needles. And I think that's it.
Is that it?
I think
That's a
so.
lot of stuff.
I know, that's so unlike me to have that much stuff. But the sock should be done soon because, in all honesty, I probably won't do the motif for,
The second sock.
no. I mean, not that it was hard. I don't know, I'll talk about it when we
Well, I have several dates to rate because it has been so long. So let's start with the stuff that you've seen before. I finished my my water. What do we call them? Water fountain socks.
Oh.
That I. That's what I thought the pattern was called, but it wasn't.
Yeah, what the
so
name
can I
was.
borrow one of your sock blockers? My
Yeah.
sock blocker is packed. So I did finish those. I made them a lot longer than I normally do because I really liked this yarn. So there it is, one of them. I think it came out pretty. I love it. It's very, very delicate.
It is, it's pretty.
Here's the other one. I do intend to publish this, and I'm going to publish my other one with the Atomic Blender.
Oh, yeah.
I am going to publish those when I'm done dealing with my mortgage people. I really am going to do that. I really think this one I love that it's kind of delicate. It would work great with a semi-solid as well. I don't think it would work really good with a highly variegated yarn because I think it would hide this pattern.
Yeah.
But this pattern is so pretty. It has like a texture to it, and it's kind of lacy, and I think it's really cute. So that's date number 1.
It is cute.
Thanks for the sock
Oh, you're welcome.
form, since mine is in the pod with everything else that I own. Also, I'm going to post a picture of it here, but I finished Jedi the Giraffe mostly. I had a lot of trouble putting that together. it was the construction, if you do it attach as you go, is complicated.
Is it?
Yes, you have to pay attention. And I made a mistake early on that I didn't discover until after I put that front leg on wrong.
Yeah.
So when I took that front leg off, I had to rip out part of the body because I had attached one piece too many edges.
Oh, all right.
Which was why that looked all weird. Once I redid that, everything was fine. But it took so long to do that I ended up not putting the little horns on. I just did ears, and I didn't put a tail on. And I didn't put eyes on it because it was going to a 1-year-old, and she's the kind of 1-year-old that would pull eyes off of something, so I didn't do those for her. And I also gave her her first baby doll, so she had like a real present too, but I wanted to make her a homemade stuffy because I made one for my other niece. And she loved it, and
Okay.
I'm going to put a picture of it right here. So I better write down what I just said. Fountain socks and Jedi the Giraffe. And the reason I can't show it to you is because I gave it to my niece on her birthday, which was almost a month ago. So she has it now.
Good.
The next thing that I finished, using the yarn from my sweater, because I had like this. This was like the dregs of knitting. And you know what the big thing is? I packed my ball winder, so anything that I had to be wound
by hand.
And I had a skein of sock yarn, and I was like, it's like 450 yards. So this is the Sitka Spruce lace hat.
Is that to go with the mittens?
It goes with the mittens, and it matches my sweater. I made a couple of mods to this. First of all, again, because I'm knitting with DK, I made it a little bit bigger. So I actually, if you go to the comments on the designer's page, she tells you that if you want to move the chart over, you can actually do an extra repeat to give this a little more slouch, because I wanted it to be more like a slouchy hat.
Right, not a beanie.
I didn't want it to be a beanie, and it was going to be a beanie. Come on, with my short hair, I look like I have no hair. So I have a little extra slouch in the
I
back.
like it.
I do too. I think it's really pretty. I love knitting with Madeline Tosh DK. It hasn't been blocked yet. It'll be a little more slouchy when it gets blocked. But Sitka Spruce Hat. Last year I think, you could get Tin Can Knits ebooks, buy one, get one. So this came from the same ebook as the North Shore sweater, this hat and mitten thing. And you can kind of see the pattern in there. It's really pretty. It's just very subtle. I think this will be a great fall hat. So that's a date rated. And then I finished my North Shore sweater. So I'm going to write that down. North Shore. Here it is in all of its glory. It's really hard to see the pine trees if you're looking at them on this picture, but you can see them.
It's pretty.
They're very subtle. I don't like the ones that were really stand-outy. It's great. It's really pretty.
It's going to be nice and toasty.
Yes. I'll put it on briefly, but I don't want to die from wearing it. It's not blocked yet because I've been showing my house and I haven't been able to leave stuff out to block.
Oh, right.
But I will block it now that I sold my house. I just haven't gotten around to it yet. So yeah, it fits great.
Looks good.
Yeah, it's cute. It's very cozy. I actually made it a little bit long because I used to take up so much more space in my midsection.
I know, but it still looks good.
Yeah, I think it's a good.
Oh no, that's a good line.
It's good. You can see the line where I didn't blend that one thing.
Let me
very
see.
well.
Yeah, a little bit. I mean,
bit.
only if you're looking at it. Only if you're pointing it out.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I am very happy with it. I've wanted to knit this sweater for a long time. I can't get it off now. I hope I don't expose my belly to everybody.
No, you didn't.
I have wanted to knit it for a long time. I bought this yarn like 2 years ago when we went on vacation with our friends to Northampton.
Oh yeah.
And
Mad
About Matisse is the one who
you have
helped me
been
pick
wanting
it up.
to knit that.
Yeah, and I'm happy that I could knit it in a smaller size. In fact, I had 3 skeins of yarn left over.
Wow.
Yeah. So.
But you did order one extra from
I did order
just
one
in
extra.
case, right?
So maybe I had 4 skeins left over. I had 3 or 4 skeins left over from what I bought of the base color. Everything else was just like 1 skein. So that's why I did the hat and the mittens. I'll probably do a cowl. I mean, there's just to use it up, and I can wear those hats with anything.
Oh yeah.
But I can wear them with my sweater too, and it'll be like a matching set. So
There you go.
that is all I have to rate. That's a lot of stuff I've done.
That's a lot of stuff.
It's like I look like I'm real busy and good at finishing stuff when we don't record frequently.
I get a lot of stuff done. Unfortunately, I don't have a lot of it.
Yeah.
I knit some hats that I've given away. One I think I shown, and it was a white and purple hat. Just a striped beanie that I did. She actually liked it a lot. And then I did this one, which again was scraps. Just a regular guy beanie, nothing fancy. Let's see if this will work. Hold on. It's funny because it's so funny when people, non-knitters, they're like so amazed over something that we take as so simple. I mean, this is a straight beanie, nothing fancy. Took me a day to do.
I don't know why my computer hates your iPad.
It does. There it
There you
goes.
go.
So it's just red and green. It kind of looks Christmassy, but she said that she liked those colors. I think Cascade.
Yeah.
Who knows?
What was the lined beanie?
No, it wasn't the line beanie. It's a regular guy's beanie is what it's called. Then I had to look because I don't have them anymore. And I showed Max's beanie, and I showed that beanie. Then I did something. This is part of the reason why I didn't finish my socks.
Yeah.
My local yarn store lady emailed me while I was on vacation. Do you think you could fix this? I looked at it. I'm like, are you high? So this is what she sent me. A little girl, about 3 or 4, has a beloved blanket like we all know. There we go. It's about as good as it's going to get.
Zoom in more.
Nope.
Why does it do that?
I don't know. Because it's only, and I have it on as bright as it can be.
I know.
So it's a pink and
You
off-white.
can kind of see the hole in it right there. That's a hole.
So, yeah, a very big hole. So they asked me what I could do. They brought it to me at night, and I said, yeah, there's a few different options. I was thinking about just carrying up the yarn. I'm like, yeah, no, I'd shoot myself if I had to do that. So what I ended up doing, she dropped it off on Friday because this is something that's well loved and slept with every night. So
Yeah.
they secured the stitches. They brought it to me on Friday. And what I did is I secured it with the needle. You know, you picked up all the stitches. I ripped out the yarn and salvaged what was salvageable and re-knit it. I told her it wasn't going to be full length because I was not going to re-knit. That was a good chunk.
Yeah.
That was a good 6 or 8 inches of re-knitting to do. They didn't care about that. They were concerned about the smell. I was able to keep some of the yarn, most of the yarn. And this is just a montage of stuff. Let's see. Oh.
It worked for a minute, but then my computer recognized what you're trying to do and it shut you down.
Yeah, no kidding. Holy cow.
You can see us. You can see my window.
It's kind of like, there we go. So the bottom is me with it on the needles. This here is the scraps. The small scraps is what was not salvageable. They just fell apart in my hand.
Yeah.
And then the little ball is what I was able to knit with. The top, and you can see it on my project page because I did list it as a project. I knit maybe a couple of inches, but I was able to keep the border. And it looks really small because hers has been stretched out.
Right.
I used size 9 because I didn't know, it was a grandmother who knit it who has Alzheimer's.
Yeah.
And they didn't think that she'd be able to fix it. And I'm thinking to myself, I bet you she would. Because people who have Alzheimer's, they don't remember things more recent. But if she was a long-term knitter, I bet you she'd be able to fix it without even thinking about it. So I was able to do that Friday into Saturday, and I got it off my hands Saturday night because I didn't want it anymore.
Yeah.
I didn't want to take responsibility for it. So then I finished and finished a little baby hat. This is Cascade 220. It was going to be for the girl I was replacing for maternity leave. I just didn't get it finished in time, honestly. I don't know her very well, not that it's not any reason I could probably always give it to her.
What pattern did you use?
Super Stretchy Baby Hat. I've used it before. I just didn't do it all. And I've come to realize I don't really like knitting with cascade fixation.
Oh, yeah?
No, it's just, well, maybe it could have been the needles I was using. It's very stiff and it hurts my hands.
Yeah, I don't like cascade fixation. I would never knit with that. But that's just me.
Well, it's cotton, which I can understand why you don't. I don't mind knitting with cotton, but
That's
this
a blend, right? Isn't it a blend?
I think it's just cotton and nylon or elastic or something. I'm not sure
then
what.
I definitely would never.
I'm not sure what, but it hurts my hands. But I will say, I was knitting on the Addy Turbo lace, the old ones with the copper smell to them, and they, I think, are sticky.
Yeah, I do too. I don't like them.
They don't smell like copper, but they're sticky.
Mine do.
And
They smell
some
like
do,
pennies.
but these ones do. Yeah, copper pennies. These
smell like
ones
pennies.
don't right now. So I may knit a Elizabeth Zimmerman's Baby Surprise jacket.
Yeah.
Maybe in like size 9, just to coordinate with this and get rid of it. I don't know. It may just sit there too, like every other thing that I do. This was, I'd like to say it was quick, but it really wasn't. And it's just, super Stretchy Baby Hat by Julie Tarsha. It's a free pattern on her website. And 98% cotton and 2% other.
Yeah.
Is what it's listed. So it's 100% cotton. Pretty
Basically.
much. Then, I don't know if I started these or not, but this was...
I think
no,
you did.
I didn't.
Oh, you hadn't?
No, because
You talked about starting.
I was taught, so this is a vanilla with a twist is what I called it. It's my Blue Moon Fiber Arts, one of my clubs from 2014?
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember when I was in the club that that I was in. It was originally for, I think, chicken socks. I don't remember. I used part of the pattern chicane socks, and the color work is what I did here.
That was her inspiration.
It had a whole bunch of detailed. I didn't want that. I liked the color work. I will say the first sock, and I don't know, this is the first sock, I ripped the color work out once because I knitted on the same size needle, but it was too
tight.
I got it over my foot, but I would not have been happy with it. So I went up a size. So I used size 1.5 and 2 with these. And I liked it. And then the color was inspired by, I wrote down the person's name, Knit Version Striped Sock. She did a colored version like this. I actually like the second sock better. I stuck the one little color here. You can't see it. This one I got lazy and I didn't do it, and I kind of like it better that way.
Yeah.
This, though, you can tell you're getting better on the color work because this part is stretchier.
Yeah.
But these haven't been blocked, but I'm happy with them. I like them
They're
a lot.
really pretty.
The colors, somebody gave me credit for choosing good colors. I'm like, I can't take the credit on that.
With the kid.
Full Moon did that.
Blue Moon did it, but those are nice. Those would make a nice sock for a man or a woman.
Oh,
Because they're,
absolutely.
like,
I mean, well, and I
flexible colors.
Oh, and I wanted to add more of the color here. So I was talking about how it came with a small skein of the silk, which is actually very nice to knit with. It's a shame that they got rid of it. And I split them in 2. Yeah, I still didn't even finish one of them.
Wow.
I mean, I'm almost finished with one. This is all I had left.
Yeah.
I don't remember how much it was in it, but I didn't bother going to the second one. I just wanted to keep it. So that was fun. I think it will look really a lot better once it's been blocked and relaxed and everything, but I really like them, and I'll throw them in my sock pile or whatever. So the last project, it's amazing what you can get done if you don't record for a month. So the last project, really, I've only worked on this week mostly. I did take it on vacation. It was to be my Ravel Linux project. Basically, it's the Endeavor sock, and the reason I chose it was a couple of different reasons. And you're not going to be able to see it with the lighting that we have
Yeah.
A little bit.
There's Olympic rings on
There's
there.
Olympic rings on it, and it goes in a diagonal, and it's by Nathan Taylor, and I picked it mostly for that. It's actually kind of cool.
It is cool.
It's all done on reverse stockinette, garter stitch. Reverse stockinette, and then ribbing. And it's so funny because look at how narrow this sock is.
Yeah.
I modified it. He had 76 stitches on it, but his stitches per inch were definitely much smaller than mine.
Yeah.
So I modified it to 68 stitches. All the notes are in my project page. The other reason I did it is it's got a bit of a cable on the gusset, which I liked. I had to modify that so you can't see it.
No, sorry.
I had to modify that as well. I will say, I don't know what I was thinking. I did do the toe twice because it was too short the first time I finished it. It was maybe about, it would have been fine, but I probably would have blown through it at one point.
Yeah.
So I ripped it out and I just finished it today. But talk about extra long leg.
Oh, yeah.
It actually slouches because my calf is actually a little too wide. But that's okay because when he shows the picture, it looked too short. So I'm like, oh, I'll do more. Yeah, too much. So what I was talking about earlier is the motif isn't bad. And actually it got a lot better when I started using my Knit Picks blocker or chart.
Did I give that to you or did you have that?
No, I had it.
Because I have like 3 of them that I never use.
No, I had it. I think we all bought them at one point.
Oh, maybe, yeah.
Before Apple really became big. And I will say, keeping the chart keeper and everything helps. So I'm still debating on whether or not I'm going to do the other chart. It goes the other way. Or if I might just knit this and do the cable at the gusset.
Just do it plain without the
Yeah, I think I might because I'm really going to need some mindless, semi-mindless knitting. So that's the end.
That's it. Thank God.
I feel like I've been talking forever.
Whirlwind Romance, nothing because everything is packed. Future dates. I'm just going to finish what I have and see where I am. I'll probably, if I run out of stuff to knit, like with my mitten, finish my mitten and I finish the sweater, I'll probably knit a pair of socks. I have some sock yarn accessible to me. And I will be compelled to wind it without a ball winder.
Do you have like Felici sock yarn accessible to you? What's in the pod? I thought you had some stuff in the pod.
I do, but it's not accessible. We're going to empty the pod this weekend.
Oh, that's what I was thinking.
So then I'll be able to go in there and see what I have.
Do you think
I know I
can
have some
finish
sock
all that
yarn.
stuff before the week?
Probably not,
Okay.
but in case you never know.
And of course, it wouldn't be a show without our buddy Oscar.
He has missed you guys.
Yeah, I can tell. His fur's getting in my eyes. Thanks a lot.
So,
I
guess my future date is going to be finish what I have, and if I have to, knit socks.
Listen to what you say. And if I have to.
Well, I mean,
If I have to.
I would rather wait until I'm unpacked and wind stuff, but I'll tell you in Crushes and Heartbreak, but it's going to be a while before I have all of my stuff accessible again. So.
Oh yeah, that makes sense. Me, for future dates, it's definitely, so I've actually done good. I only have, I'd like to say 3 on the needles. I have 3 semi-active stuff on the needles that I would definitely like to finish. But I also have some stuff in hibernation that I have my slippers that I need to finish. And I ended up, I don't think I told you, I ended up ripping out my clapper tape.
Oh, yeah?
But I didn't rip it out all the way. It was the one with the silk.
Right.
I used the whole skein. It's just far too long.
Yeah.
So I ripped out a good portion of it. So I got to figure out where I am.
Oh, yeah. So
and then
finish the end
and
again.
then knit and decrease it. And so I got to do that. But I also started a pair of simple ankle socks. And for some reason, I think I'm not a big fan of how I think the yarn's splitting. I don't know. There's something about it that's not appealing to me. So those are sitting in hibernation. Other than that, it will probably just be socks. I do want to knit some baby items. I have 2 people that I'm friendly with at work. One of them I'm going to be working closely with at least once a week at the new place that I'm going to be. So
So that's good.
I just got to figure out some baby stuff. But yeah, just finish what's on the needles because it's driving me insane.
So, Baubles and Bling. Obviously, I bought a sweater's worth of Malabrigo twist so that I could knit a sweater. That was the big Baubles and Bling. But I did buy a couple of things. If you've watched the show for a while, you might remember that for either birthday or Christmas at some point, I bought Sheila these.
Pear-shaped?
They're called bulb pins.
Yeah, okay. I couldn't remember.
They're like a safety pin, but they have a bulb. And I bought her some, and then I bought some for myself on the internet, but I couldn't find any that were colored. I had to get like a really small amount. But I was surfing Etsy, and I found this store, Stunning String Studio. Here is their promotional card. Those are the bulb pins. You could buy them in sets of like 25, 50, 100. It might have even been higher. So I bought 100 because I find these really helpful. I'm using them on my sweater right now. I like them because you can pin them in to show progress, but also, where am I using them? You can use them as a stitch marker because the bulb part acts like a stitch marker. And they're big enough so even with my giant size 10s, these slip right through.
Yeah, this is me. If you guys remember, I tend to use them as row counters.
Row counters.
Yeah.
You can use, I like them, and I like that they come.
I love the different color options.
I know. I like that they come in so many colors because then you can like use red to show where you have to do one kind of increase and blue. You know what I mean? You can use the colors to help you. And they came in this nice little tin.
I'm not saying much better than the one you gave me, but definitely more durable. Because the one that you gave me, I ended up...
it was cardboard.
It was a hard cardboard, which it lasted, but because I was using it and abusing it, I did actually have to throw it away.
Well, I have another set that I got on Etsy that are like Easter colors, because they didn't have really good color choices. It came in a little plastic container that doesn't stay closed. So eventually I think I'm just going to put them all in here, and then I'll have like 125. So that was one thing. The other thing is, when knitting my basket weave cable on this sweater during my vacation, I had to borrow, I was cabling without a cable needle because I usually do, but this was 3/3 on size 10 needles with really big stitches, and it was kind of turning into a hassle.
I bet.
And then the cabled increase that I had to do here was also kind of a hassle because a part of it had to be cabled. So Lois, my friend, Knitting's My Bag, lent me a cable needle. I wonder if I still have it. She lent me a cable needle to use at her house, and I left it in the sweater by accident and came home with it. But while I was at her house, I was like, I gotta get me, here's the one she lent me. It's just wooden, but it has these little ridges in it so that it doesn't fly out of your knitting. When you know, I usually just stick it through my knitting like that when I'm not using it. Kind of grips on. So while I was at her house, I ordered some Knitter's Pride cable needles that have the same kind of grooving. And the set came with these three. It's a size US 9, US 6, and a US 3. So whatever kind of cables you're using, one of these should work for it. And I like them because they have that grabby thing. It helps it stay in. But then when I got home from her house, I realized I still had her cable needle, so I have to mail that back to her. I'm keeping it safe in my Jean-Luc Picard thing. Actually, I'm going to keep these in here now too.
They didn't have a little thing for you to put your needles in?
It didn't come with anything. It just came with
bad.
Well, I have notions pouches, so I probably wouldn't have used it anyway.
But,
all right. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I like them though, and Sheila and I both got
Knitter's Pride Royale.
Yes, as a gift.
Interchangeable needles. And let me say, I'm a stainless steel and metal person except for the carbons.
Yeah.
Because they are, I don't want to say slippery. Slippery is not a good word for it. But they don't catch, like bamboo catches, but these are nice.
Yeah.
I'm actually looking forward to trying these out. These are really nice. They got some weight to it.
Yeah. And they
have
bright
cords.
Yeah, I think they've started color coding their cables.
I think they have too,
So
based
that
on
you
what
can-
length.
Find it. These will interchange with our Knitter's Pride cables that we already own.
And these are really nice. Feel the heft to that.
Yeah,
I mean,
they're nice. I don't know if they're going to be as pointy as I like, but I can't wait to try them. I normally stay away from wooden needles, but after using those are cable needles from the same line. The wood is smooth like silk. It's really, really smooth. I don't think they're going to be that grabby. And I really like how they've color coordinated it. So
Yeah.
the US 4 and the 9. Like the 9 cable needle that I have is the same color as this needle. And the 6 cable needle that I have is the same color as this needle. So that it's another cue to help you
figure out
what size they are. And also, what I find really nice is it's
carrying
printed
case,
on the
too.
metal and as well as the wood, so that if this comes off with wear, it's still printed on the metal. So if you use them a lot, you won't have to worry that you can't find out what the oops. And they came in this really nice little case.
This is, I will say that Knitter's Pride has gone up in quality of cases, because the case that we received with the the
Nova Platina.
Nova Platina seemed a little.
Well, stuff could fall out of it. That's what I remember.
I was having a hard time with the zipper, and it just.
Yeah, I
didn't
bought
seem-
another case for it, but this
This is nice. No, this is really nice. I like this a lot.
I don't know why it's Paris themed, but
Royal?
oh, maybe it is.
I don't know, I'm
It's
just-
Royale, right?
Royale, yeah.
Oh, so it's like French. This is like these are French knitting needles, but I love them.
I
I'm
love them
excited
too.
to use them.
I am too. I am very excited to use
So
them.
thank you
Thank
for the
you.
gift. This is wonderful, and I will be excited to try them out.
And you know what I like? I don't know about anyone. I mean, obviously sock needles not, but I like the smaller head of the needles than the larger ones.
The longer ones.
Yeah.
I do too. I like a short needle, so it
You know what I'm
seems
trying
easier
to say.
do.
I don't
Yes.
know. There's probably a technical
And
term.
I'm really
Maybe a
excited.
short needle shaft? I don't know.
I'm really excited that they started color coding their cables,
Boards.
because then when you reach into your snarly mess of interchangeable cables, you'll be like, I need a red one. You just pull out a red one, because whenever I do the Knit Picks ones or the ones for my Nova Platinas, which are black, I'm like, I gotta stretch it
I
all
know, you
out.
end up going like this. Nope, too short or too long or whatever it is. Yeah.
So
I
I'm
agree
kind of
on that
excited
one.
about that. I think that's going to be a cool upgrade. So that was it for my baubles.
I think
and
that's the
bling.
only Baubles and Bling. So I showed you my Canadiana sock yarn, right?
Mm-hmm. No,
Yeah, the white with all the different colors.
no.
I didn't show you.
Oh, that was last time. Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's all I have. I kept looking up yarn stores when I was on vacation, but I just never got around to any. I was thinking maybe in a souvenir yarn. Yep, didn't get there.
Well, gossip. No, questions and heartbreak. So I'll try to make this as short as possible. We sold our house. The deal fell through. We tried to buy a house. The deal fell through. We sold our house again for a better price.
Hey.
That deal stuck, and we were able to negotiate a deal on the house that we wanted. That the deal fell through the first time. We got it the second time. We went after it, and that is all good. Everything is once you sign the contract, you're basically just killing time until the mortgage company gets your paperwork together, and then you close. So that's what we're doing. We are moving in about a month out of this house. And so that's all a crush. We bought a house that was a little bit bigger than we planned on because, to be honest, there was literally nothing on the market that worked for our family. I needed a house that had enough bedrooms, obviously, for me and my kids. I wanted a house that had either an in-law suite or a guest suite for my parents because they stay with me quite a bit. And, you know, in the event that they ever want to move in with me, I wanted there to be a place in the house that could be theirs that wouldn't make them feel like they were living on top of us. And it had to be in our town that we currently live in. And my bonus things that I wanted is I really wanted a knitting craft room area where I could keep all my stuff. And I really wanted a playroom for the kids so that they could have a separate area for their toys and their stuff and their study area that's not in the dining room or in the living room. This house met all those needs, but it's just really big. The rooms are really big. It doesn't have a lot of rooms, but they're all really big. So it's a big house. It's a lot bigger than this house. So I'm a little worried about what it's going to be like to try to keep it clean. I'm hoping we have so little stuff in this house compared to that house that will be easy to clean. But eventually we'll just buy stuff and then it will probably be hard to clean. I don't know. But anyway, we got it for what we think is a good price, in large part because it's a time capsule from 1978.
It really is.
Shag rug in every single room except the bathrooms. Wood paneling in 3 rooms. The bathroom fixtures are from the 70s. I mean, I think we were the only people that even ever made an offer on it because, because you'd think, you see the outside of the house and you're like,
gorgeous,
wow, it's so gorgeous. You see the inside of the house. And I think a large part of it is that it's big and it has a lot of cosmetic issues so that the end result is you feel overwhelmed. Yeah. The house itself was maintained very well. Everything is in good shape. It's just dated.
Outdated.
Completely dated. So the first time I went into the house, I was like, oh, hell no. I was like, this is just overwhelming. Every single room needs to be redone. Every single room. There's wallpaper in every single room. There's carpeting in every single room. When it's not carpeting, it's like 1970s linoleum. Yeah. It's just a lot of outdatedness. But I'm really good at visualizing I can take a house and visualize what it could look like if we did stuff to it. And underneath all of that shag, vomit-colored rug is a hardwood floor that if we have that redone,
to get out.
Yes, it is begging us. It'll, you take the carpets off and redo the hardwoods, and you take all the wallpaper off and paint out the house in modern colors. It's going to look like a show place, and it's really not that expensive to do those 2 things. The only drawback to this house is that the kitchen has to be gutted. There's no coming back from that kitchen. There's just you can't put a modern refrigerator in there without ripping out half the cabinets, which we have to do when we move in so that we can put a normal size refrigerator in there. It only fits an apartment size refrigerator. The appliances are really old. They're probably from the 70s. We're going to hope that they'll get us through at least a year because we don't want to do that work right away. We want to live in the house for a while before we do that. And we don't have gas. There is no gas in my neighborhood.
See, I've never had gas, so to
we
me
have oil.
That's not an issue.
We've had oil before. It's not like we're unfamiliar with it.
Well, the good thing is the oil prices are fairly low right now.
Right. Well, we're going to have propane put in the house so my husband can have a gas stove. We just want a gas stove and maybe a gas fireplace. Because that's another thing. It has dream things in it that I am really excited about. One of the dream things is that I have a real fireplace in the living room. Which I've always wanted, a fireplace living room. I'm very excited about that. It has a 2-car garage that's tucked under, so you can walk into the house from the garage. Nice. I have a detached garage right now that's only 1 car, so I'm super thrilled about that. Because it'll be nice when it's raining and I have groceries, not have to carry them.
Yep.
The drill. Because our garage is miniature because it's from 1925, so you can't really park a real car in there nowadays. So we always just park outside. It has a beautiful flagstone tiled screened-in porch outside, and I feel like we're going to spend a lot of time out there because you can enjoy the outdoors, but it's shaded and there's a screen so the bugs don't get you.
Yeah, that's kind of nice.
So I'm really excited about that, and I think it's going to be great. There is a bathroom, guest room, and a playroom area on the first level that my parents can use when they're there, but the kids can also use the playroom for their study area and their like video games and stuff. They have a whole separate place. And there's a little room. It's tiny, but it has some built-in stuff that is going to be my craft room. And a big thing that I really like is it has a walk-up attic. And it's
nice.
a huge, full attic. You can put another full level of things in there. Like probably two big rooms up there.
Really?
If you put in dormers, yeah. Otherwise, it would be very dark.
Yeah.
But you'd have to put in dormers or skylights to get some light up there. But it's massive. Like when you come to my new house, I'll show you the attic because it's one of my favorite things. And the attic stairs are in the room that will be my craft room. So I can keep all of my yarn stuff upstairs
out of the way.
Yep. And just have the stuff that I use every day in my craft area. And I'm really going to like that because it'll be on the same level as the living room. So when I'm knitting in the living room, I don't have to leave my knitting stuff in the room. I can just run into my craft room and pull it out. And I'll have it's going to be my room. Nobody's going to be allowed in there. And it's going to have my computer and all my stuff is just going to be in there. And my husband's thrilled because the unfinished portion of the lower level has a massive workshop.
Yeah.
For his tools and his equipment. He won't have to keep it in the garage. He can have an indoor workshop. So, I'm excited about the house. That's all crushed. This is all crushed. I'm very excited about the house. The 1970s thing doesn't faze me anymore because here's the heartbreak. We're moving in on October 3rd, and we're having contractors in on October 4th.
Oh, wow.
So we're going to be living on the lower level for about a week while they redo all the floors on the upper level. It's a raised ranch, so it doesn't really have a basement. It's like a basement first floor. It's a walk-in. Like one whole side of it is open.
Okay.
But it's in a hill.
Oh, all right.
So I find it easier to call them the lower level and the upper level because the first floor is kind of like a basement, but it's not. So that's what I say. Anyway, the lower level, we're just having a couple of things painted down there. But the upstairs has to have wallpaper removed, ceilings, walls, and trim painted, and every single floor has to be redone except for the bathrooms. So we're going to be living in the basement of the house, in the guest room and the playroom. We're going to set up beds in there, probably for about a week until all the floors are done. Once all the floors are done, I have to call my movers back, and they're going to move all the furniture that's been stored in the garage and the unfinished part of the basement where it belongs in the house, and then they can paint around the furniture. You don't have to, but you can't do the floors around the furniture. So it's going to be hectic. That's why I'm saying recording is going to be kind of sketchy around the end of the month because I have to be out of my house on the 29th. So I'm going to be living with a friend, basically, until the 3rd when we move into our house. And then I'm going to be living in the lower level of my house with limited stuff because I'm waiting for them to refinish all the floors. One positive note is we have 2 stairs in our new house. We have the front stairs and the back stairs. And the back stairs go into a linoleum floored hallway into the linoleum floored kitchen. So we will be able to access the kitchen and cook meals without going anywhere that a floor is being redone.
Oh, good.
And we have a full bath on the lower level. So we'll have a bathroom, we can shower, So we can do it. It's just going to be kind of like camping in our house for a week.
Right.
So, but it's all good. I'm very excited to be starting this new adventure. I'm really excited. I already picked out all my paint colors for all the rooms.
Oh, good.
We already lined up our contractor. And
Same guy?
Same guy. and he just needs to give us a pared down estimate. We were going to do more work, but we paid more than we thought we would have. We had to get the house for a little bit more than we thought we would, so we got to cut some down off of our initial project list, and we want to spread it out. It's gonna be expensive because it's like 13 rooms have to be completely stripped of wallpaper and repainted, and it's not cheap.
No.
But we do that once, and
we'll be good to go.
We do the floors. It's gonna look like a modern house,
Right.
and it's not gonna look like flashback to the Brady Bunch. So, and then when you see the inside of my house, I took before pictures because I'll have to do like a Flickr set or something because I think it's gonna be remarkably different.
Oh, I think so too.
Because when you look at it now, it's like, ooh. So anyway, that's my crushes and heartbreaks.
So I have a few things going on. I was talking earlier about how my hours are going to change because I'm covering an offsite for a woman who is going on maternity leave. That starts Monday. She has a firm date. She's having a C-section on Monday. So I start my new hours 8 to 4:30. It shouldn't be so bad. Today I work till 4:30 and we're recording. We just may not record every week.
And then around the end of the month,
it may be
there
a couple
may be a
or
gap
2 or 3 weeks, like this time.
Yeah.
What was I going to say? That's going to be until at least till the Tuesday after before Thanksgiving. So probably after Thanksgiving is when we might be able to get back onto a normal schedule, depending on what's going on. You heard me talk about an appointment for Zachary. We had an appointment for him this past Monday, where it was a follow-up from a sleep study. He has sleep apnea.
Mm-hmm.
So we are going to do a mask, but we know why he has sleep apnea. He had his tonsils and adenoids taken out many years ago. He scoped him, and he's got a tongue-based disorder where the back of his tongue is larger than it should be. One of the doctors said, let's try the CPAP, and then if that doesn't improve, surgery. The other one said, let's try the CPAP and tongue exercises, and hopefully he'll outgrow it. But they also said that's part of the reason why he talks like he has marbles in his mouth.
Oh.
They said that kind of makes sense. So they scoped him, and I could see exactly where the doctor was looking at.
Yeah.
So some of the tongue exercises are kind of funny. You have to go like this.
Hey.
And then you stick the tongue at the roof of your mouth, not your teeth, the roof, and push with your mouth closed. So I've been doing it because he said it couldn't hurt for me either to help with my sleep apnea. It's basically, he said a lot of kids these days, if you see them, they're slack-jawed. They're sitting watching TV like this.
Right.
And it's because we're not eating enough crunchy food. We're eating pasta, we're eating rice, we're eating very soft foods. He made a lot of sense. So I got to get Zachary into eating crunchy foods, natural foods, and stay away from the soft foods. So that was a crush, heartbreak, whatever you'd like to say. We also went on vacation. We had a lot of fun. We went to Virginia, did a lot of hiking. I have another appointment for Zachary on the 6th of September for his cochlear implant. We're going to continue with that.
Oh, good.
That's more talking in a more in-depth hearing evaluation.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's other stuff going on. It's been a month after all. I was texting earlier. I do apologize. My son is at practice right now. He is trying out for the football team.
Your older son?
Certainly not Zachary. Zachary can't.
I don't know. I was like, really?
Zachary cannot do any contact sports. So,
yeah,
yes.
I didn't think so.
Max is trying out for the football team. He is trying out for the wide receiver.
I think has he ever played football before?
Not in a organized way, I guess is how it.
What part
Obviously
was
not. Oh, he's been wanting to
Oh.
for the last several years. With high school, we let him because, honestly, we're lucky. Our town does not make us pay for any high school sports.
That's nice.
However, if he was Papuano, we'd be paying out the nose.
Yeah.
So he wanted to do for high school. Hi, sweetie, I'm not touching you. And my husband at first said no because you've never done it before. I said, well, that's not teaching him anything.
Yeah.
So last week he started and he was like, oh, because he had to do push-ups. It hurts here. So the other day, this is just funny. He's putting his cold hands on the lower of my back. I turn around and I go like this to his chest right here. He's like, oh. I'm like, don't do that to me. So he was texting back and forth wondering where I was. I said it would be a little bit. Zachary, we need to get him to exercise. But. So that'll be fun. That will be some of my Fridays. Well, maybe not Fridays. I don't know when JV, if he makes JV. Well, it's either JV or varsity. I love you, sweetie. I don't see you making varsity.
He's never formally played. I suspect he's probably going to start on JV.
Yeah, that way. And unfortunately, we're not stupid. We know the likelihood of them actually playing is very slim.
Well, if he's on JV, maybe not. No?
My town.
Oh.
No. The only people who are guaranteed to play on my town in any sport is freshmen.
Oh.
Yeah, they play everybody in freshman sports, no matter what sport you play.
Yeah.
But when it comes to JV and varsity, they're going to play the elite. Which is fine, because I'm okay with that because he's getting exercise each and every day.
Right.
And then come winter, he will be doing track, which he enjoys. So whatever gets the mountain moving, I'm fine. I'm trying to think what else is going on. I don't know.
I forgot to
Father's
mention I'm
coming
taking karate.
You might have mentioned that before. I don't know.
Maybe before I... Maybe. I can't remember when I started. But yeah, I think I might have mentioned it.
I think you did, which I think is great. I'm happy for you.
I like it.
It's fun.
Your
I'm
dad's
hoping,
out of town.
Yeah, well, that's one thing we got to go help his ex-wife. I guess she had to move furniture and unplug the TV and can't figure out to get it to start again. And they called Comcast, and I guess there was a communication disorder, and they left without helping her. So, yeah, we're going to be helping her because Cam can actually talk to her.
Oh, well, that's good.
We're almost done anyways.
Yeah.
So on that note, I think that's all there is that I have to say.
I mentioned this in the last episode that we recorded a month ago, that we were going to be giving away Riley Rose Shawl, which I'm fearless on, but I unfortunately never started a contest for it.
Gee, I wonder why.
So, a lot's been going. Now I have cat hair all over me. So I'm going to start that contest thread, and we're going to let it run for 2 episodes, which could be several weeks, because the schedule is crazy. You know what? We have to take care of our personal lives. That's number one.
It is. We love recording. We do. Honestly, without recording, I probably, not so much now, but a couple of years ago, I probably would have stopped knitting. But recording kept me knitting, just because a lot of things were going on. So I have a lot to say thank you on that one. And you guys have been always so sweet to us.
Yeah. And so, yeah, it's just going to be, and I don't want to feel like I'm apologizing for it, because I'm really not. We just have busy lives right now, and especially, you know, you're working more hours during the daytime, whereas when we first started doing this, Sheila was at home during the day.
Yeah, I was working at nights.
Yeah, so it was, you know, that's been an adjustment, and then trying to get my entire household packed up, moved, arranging for construction. My kids are starting school, and then we've got to, like, move them. It's just a lot of work on my side, and I think it's going to lighten up because most of the stuff's done, but I've been on the phone with mortgage brokers, insurance people, the asbestos removal people. Like, that's all I've been doing for about, my brokers, for about 4 weeks. So, just to give you a heads up, there is a thread in our group that tells you about recording delays, and we'll post in there when we're going to record. You know.
And you guys have been really great, and we've been posting updates, or I should say you've been posting updates. And we do still plan on continuing to record. We'll probably just do it less frequently. It's probably not going to be a weekly thing right now. I know a lot of podcasters are going into like bi-weeks, just because doing this does take a lot out of you, and trying to find time to schedule that matches. It doesn't always work out.
And honestly, I just have
too much on your plate.
I do. After our recording, like our light that we use to record, that's packed. Like I just realized our prize box is packed, but it's accessible. It just
packed.
It's just packed.
Which
it's
is
going to
good,
get
'cause we don't-
unpacked this weekend.
Well, but we have other prizes we can.
we
give
have
it.
other, but
I mean,
it's everything's just in chaos right now, and one less thing that I have to do makes me feel a little more in control. So, anyway, I hope you all have a great week.
anything going on real quick?
Nope, there is
Right.
nothing coming on now until October. End of September or October. I think there's the Great Adirondack. It's in the show notes. I forgot to look at it before I went, but there's some stuff come. The fall festival season is going to start in September. So.
And also, just we haven't talked about it, but we are not going to Rhinebeck this year, as of right now.
There's no possible way I could go.
Yeah.
I was going to try to go to Vermont Sheep and Wool, and I can't even go to that. But October 4th or October 1st.
Oh,
I'm moving
okay,
the
no.
same weekend. I can't go. I was going to try to go to that. I'm probably going to go to the New England Fiber Festival. That's at the end of the
Is that the Big E
festival.
one?
Yeah, the Big E. I'm probably going to go to that. My mom and I usually go. And it's just in West Springfield, so it's not that far away. I'll probably go to that. Me and my mom and my mom's friend. And but that's going to be. This is the year that I so far have not been to any fiber events at all, and it's because surgery, moving, and all this work, construction work before and
because
after.
I was just going to say you had construction work at the end of last year too with
Yes.
the
With
damage.
with the water damage. Yeah.
The one good thing about me doing these hours 8 to 4:30 is I do have my weekends off unless I choose to pick up a shift, which I've picked up a couple with the 3-hour shifts.
So that's
not a big
nice.
deal. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
But yeah, it's just the year that I'm not going to anything. I feel
Empty.
bad about it, like I miss it a little bit, but also it's a relief not to have those times like blocked off because so much has been going on.
Right. I mean, if you weren't moving, obviously it wouldn't be this
Oh yeah,
year,
like
so.
next year it's going to be my life back to normal again because I'll be moved. I won't be having any more construction on my house at the time for a while.
No, it's not. Come on.
The good news is there was no water damage in this house from the
Oh, really?
from the storm.
Oh, good.
And no water damage from the Mother's Day flood. So I'm like, yes! That's good.
That is good.
Because a lot of the houses that we looked at had damage. Like, they have to disclose it to you.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so I feel like my house is, like, accident-proof.
I was going to say, you were just asking for it. I'm ready to get up, I think. Sorry,
All right.
I'm getting out of my chair because my son is bugging me to pick
We
him up.
are hoping you had a good month this summer, and we hope to be seeing you in a couple weeks.
And thank you again for being patient with
Yep.
us. Thanks for watching Knit with Heart.
Bye.
Have a good one. Sorry.